If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And down with the window open, baby, leave our key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to be only for the night. If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And down with the window open, baby, leave our key outside the door.
Here we are, and I'm on the wrong camera. Let's do it. All right, look at this. I rounded the corners out in the video. So it probably looks a little strange in your set, but I'm just trying something, hey. Why not try something? I can look over at the live stream here. You can see a little bit. Yeah, it looks a little bit weird. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, we're trying it out. Why not? I hope you guys are having a great week so far. I know I'm having a great week so far, so I'm looking forward to today's show. Really looking forward to next week's show too, because we have a little different format. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. But it's been an interesting week. We've been getting bids all week. We have some possible big movers today, so I'm hoping for some decent snipes. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? I didn't write the code. Yeah, well, let's get things started here. Let's thank our sponsor, Mr. Nissan. Thank you, Mr. Nissan. And what are we having today? We are, looks like lots of 2015 Instagram filters. That's about it, Mark. That's about it. We have the premium light today. How about that? Little diety almost. Probably need it. Haven't been skiing as much this week. Haven't skied since Friday. It was kind of cold, and then, yeah, I just wasn't feeling it this week, so gonna go tomorrow. Oh, yeah. That tastes nice. Tastes real nice. That 1245 beers, that is a little bit different. Used to working all the time during the day, and then you don't think of cracking a beer today. Probably not a good idea every day, that's for sure. All right, well, why don't we take a look? Let's get this desktop here set up. See, part of the reason why I rounded corners was I hated how it was square in this look, and I just rounded around them a little bit, but then it did it to the whole camera. I haven't had a lot of time to mess around with it, so you know what? Bear with it. If you don't like it, let me know. Maybe I'll change it. Maybe I won't. All right, so what do we have? We have this week a total of, how many is this? We have 20 auctions today. 20. 2 every 5 minutes. So the last auction is going to end at 1:40 today. That's pretty exciting, I must say. Pretty exciting. Let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, there's 18 today, not 20. 18 auctions. I'm sorry, not 20. But we have more next week. And next week is jam-packed. But here's the change for next week. We're going to do it every 3 minutes instead of 5 minutes between the auctions. So you're going to get a much more faster-paced show. A little less of me talking the whole time. We'll kind of make it work a little bit. Trying to find that happy median, if that makes sense. Now that eBay freed it up, remember it used to be like I could only do it every 15 minutes when we first started the show, and that was deadly. And I used to just do one auction every 50 minutes, and then I doubled it up, 2 auctions every 50 minutes, and then eBay opened up 5-minute increments. So I started doing them in 5 minutes for the schedule, but now I can do them by the minute. So I decided on 3 minutes. So we'll see how this goes next week. Next week, stay tuned. All right, well, what auctions do we have up today? On the first setup, we're going to have the Castlevania Double Pack for Game Boy Advance. It has 2 great Castlevania games on it. And Game Boy Advance is like one of the most underrated systems. It's like the power of a Super Nintendo, essentially, but programmed later in life than Super Nintendo generally was. So the games can be very good if someone took the time on it. And this Castlevania pack's a pretty good one in itself. Then we have a DS game of Age of Empires Mythology sitting at $5.50. The next 2, we have the Gradius Galaxies for the Game Boy Advance sitting at just $4.25. What a deal. 8 watchers on that. Then we have Contra 4 sitting at $33. And that is for the DS. Then, in the next section, we have Yoshi's Island Super Mario Advance 3 for the Game Boy Advance, sitting at $6.50. That's a steal. It's a very fun game. And then also in that pairing, we have the $20.50 Final Fantasy IV. I cannot talk. For the DS. See the little handheld theme we got going on here? Then we have the Capcom Classic sitting at $4.25 for the Game Boy Advance. And this is a sleeper here. This one's a strange one. I didn't think I'd get a lot of bids on it, but Style Savvy must be relatively rare. It's been getting bids all week. It's got 21 watchers and it's at $28. This is clearly a fashion game for the DS, and people must really like it. It's complete in box. That probably helps too. Then we have this ballistic game. Look at this. 0 bids. Only 3 watchers sitting at 99 cents. Someone going to come snatch that up? I'm not sure. Then we have the Game Boy Advance lot of 3 games with Pac-Man Collection, Road Rash, and then it's got a series of 3 board games on it, including Risk. So, that's pretty cool. We have Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, The Pumpkin King on the Game Boy Advance, sitting at $26.55. This could be a sleeper right here. This is a brand new in the box joystick that is mainly made for the 2600, but works on several of the old Atari systems and can even take adapters to work on other things I find interesting. So that's sealed in the box still with price tags and everything from the original store. Then we have Zelda 2, which is Adventures of Link, classic NES title, but put onto a Game Boy Advance cart. That's sitting at $7.50. We have a Nintendo DS lot of 3 games, which are a little bit on the, I don't know, kiddie side, we'll say. Hello Kitty, Tinkerbell, and there's a weird, it's like some pet one of some sort. That's sitting at $7.50. They're all complete, I believe. And that's 3 games for $7.50. Someone might get a real good deal on that. We have the Game Boy Advance game F-Zero Maximum Velocity, which is a phenomenally good game. $8.50. Then we have, this one's a sleeper right now. It's still a brand new sealed Nintendo NES game. Original seal on it. Super Glove Ball. Now, granted, you need a power glove to play that game. But how many brand new sealed NES games do you own? That's sitting at $26 with 10 watchers. So, yeah, this could go really high or someone's going to get the best deal ever. So we'll see how this goes. We have then, complete in the box, Pinball of the Dead made by Sega for the Game Boy Advance. And that is sitting up nice and high at $63 with 21 watchers yet. So that's a pretty good one. Then a huge one has potential yet. We have Dragon Warrior 4. Complete in box for the NES. That's 23 watchers. And that's sitting at $158. And then today I did put up 2 new Buy It Nows that are active right now. We have Gargoyles Quest 2 for the NES, which is a very rare game. And I have that set at $110. And then we have Maru's Mission for the Game Boy with the alternative box variant. This is a very rare version of the box for the game. So we'll see if we get any takers on that. Again, if these don't sell in about 3 weeks or so, we'll put them up to auction. We'll see what happens then. Very exciting, I have to say, right? All right, what time are we at? We're at 53. And we have these 2 bad boys up here yet. These are our first 2. Oh, I'll get those green bars up there a little bit It's funny how they don't ever just line up just the same. I don't get it. Probably have to go some little bit something more like this. Still hard to do. All right, pretty close. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Age of Empires. Well, a lot of people like those kind of games. I can never get into them. A lot of learning to do. It gets kind of complicated. Next week's theme, though, besides the 3 minutes, is we have a lot of PlayStation 1 games going up. A lot of good classic ones there. And even a brand new copy of Gran Turismo 2. And then we took 2 out of the Buy It Now, and we put them up. We got Monster Hunter 3D, still sealed for the 3DS. And then we have the Bucky O'Hare. That's a game. That's rare for the NES. So those are a couple of real big ones that are the finish off the show with a big bing bing boom. Well, hopefully anyway, right? So I've been busy this week working on a setup situation. So let me see if I bring this thing down. Let's go to camera 2 on. So well, let's talk about the situation here first, right? When I'm shooting videos for these games, I tend to get oh, nice. They're showing me at where I used to work, technically, on the big screen. So hey, everybody, thanks Stumpy for doing that. There you go. But anyway, I like to test with the original hardware to show that the game works. Put it into the video so that when it ships, I've had situations where I shipped 8 Game Gear games and he said none of them worked. And he wanted his money back. And I said, well, did you happen to watch the testing video link that was in the auction where I actually showed every one of the games working? And he goes, oh, must be my Game Gear's bad. Bob. Okay. Once that happened, I'm like, I got to be testing as much stuff as humanly possible. I'm only trying to ship out stuff that works. Very important to me, right? So, but I have a very small desk in front of me here. So it takes up, if I put a Super Nintendo down here, it takes up the whole thing almost. Let me show you what I set up a little bit. This doesn't give the best view here. I'll pull this camera down. But you can see I have a Nintendo. This is a PlayStation 1, a Super Nintendo, GameCube, and a Sega Genesis all hooked up to a switcher here. And that will allow me to just hit the buttons, boom, 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 right? And activate the systems. I just roll up the controllers, kind of tuck them away. Much more organized, easier to do. So, kind of pumped about that. Now, on the other side, I ended up buying 2 of these yesterday. I only ended up using 1 for it. But I highly recommend these plugs for old game systems. So you can get 3 brick plugins into one, and you're not going to blow your house up, folks. These things like run on 12 volt. And they're not many amps. So it's not like it's going to overwhelm your system by putting one of these on anything. So don't worry. You're not hooking up like a vacuum cleaner to it. So yeah, I think that was pretty cool anyway. Let's put this camera all the way here. Thing kind of drives me nuts. So I kind of feel like Inspector Gadget half the time where I'm pulling cameras down, I'm moving things around, but all of it's in arm reach almost here. So it's getting to be a little bit of a better setup, making the best use of the space that I have. So cheers, huh? Cheers. Cheers for your beers and your tears. That does taste good, Mr. Nissan. Thank you for that. All right, so where are we at here? We got about 2 minutes to go on these 2 auctions. We do have 25 watchers. That is the most watched item of the week, is that Castlevania double pack. So that one kind of surprised me a little bit, to be honest. And we'll kind of see where that goes. You never know. Maybe we'll get a snipe. Maybe we won't. Oh, I should probably put it on the camera where you can actually see the auctions again, huh? All right, getting down there. Minute 35. I'm hoping we get some actual snipes coming, right? And we can use some of the fun snipe videos. I didn't make any new ones, but I deleted out a couple I didn't like. So we'll see how this goes. So yeah, if Katie, if you end up joining us and you complain about them, tough cookies. Oh, we just got another bid on the double pack. Castlevania's up to $36 now, as we're getting close to 1 minute to go. You know, a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there. You know, I'm not going to complain. We started at 31, so that must have jumped up twice since we looked at this. So I like to jot down the slight price changes a little bit on my notepad. It's kind of a weird business doing this stuff. You just don't know how to really do it, and you kind of work your way into it, and you try to figure things out as you go. You make some mistakes. You make some mistakes that work out well, so then you change your habits. But yeah, I think it's quite a bit of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Not looking to ever become YouTube famous. I'm just looking to have a good time doing it. All right, so we're in the snipe land now. We're at 36 and 550. We have 15 seconds to go. 36, 550. We can get anything more in here in true snipes? I don't know. 36 is quite a bit for a Game Boy Advance game. 5 seconds to go. 36, 550. 36. Oh, there's a snipe. 41. Hey, we got a little one.
Wow!
That's not so bad, huh? That's not so bad. We'll go with it anyway, right? So, 41. That really started at 31. I'm just jotting some things down here. All right, let's get into the next set, shall we? We have the Gradius Galaxy sitting at 425. That's a nice low number. I have a feeling I'm going to get a lot of combined shipping again this week. Last week it was kind of a bear cat with it all, to be honest. All right, let's see here. We got Gradius Galaxies for Game Boy Advance sitting at 425. And then we have Contra 4 for the Nintendo DS sitting at $33 even. Well, those are some nice numbers. Some real nice numbers. So we got some news that we have a fun band coming to Mankato. And my wife was able to get early access tickets today, so we have really good seats as well. And we're going to go see the band Cake. And some of you young folks out there probably maybe heard he's going the distance, he's going for speed, whatever. But we used to listen to all of their albums back in the day, like, what do you call it? From the beginning of the disc to the end of the disc in the car, right? And it's just always been a really good band. So I've generally just really enjoyed them. In fact, back in the day, I never almost went to concerts at all. And my buddy Tito and I got tickets to go see Cake once. And I want to say maybe, what was I? How old would I have been? Maybe 20 years old, something like that. And I was going to school in Mankato, and I think he was at the University of Minnesota. And I drove up to the cities to go meet with him, to go to First Ave to watch Cake, one of my favorite bands of all time. And we get to the doors, and there's a sign on the door that says, "Concert canceled. Drummer has the flu." So, ooh, no, that didn't just jump up. I'm seeing things. And so it was really disappointing. Ended up getting my money back. First Ave refunded my money. And, back then it was harder to buy things. It wasn't like, the internet, yes, the internet existed, but it was kind of crap. We're using dial-up modems half the time. And I don't remember how I ended up getting refunded. If they sent me a check back in the mail. It's such a goofy system back then. But regardless, got my money back. But here they are now, fast forward. Might have to listen to some of their newer albums to make sure I know some of the songs. They have a very distinct style, right? So, however they are new or old, they kind of always have that same sound. Kind of like you could argue like a Green Day would, right? Although I will say some of Green Day's new stuff I haven't really liked. But I think the very last album's been better than the previous last album, if that makes any sense. Oh, I never hit the play button on this. So I did something different. Well, here, let's rewind that a little bit. So behind me here, I did a new video this week. And I'm going to just test the waters with a little bit and see if anybody enjoys it or not. Because I kind of enjoy it because I'm just playing video games. So I know people like to watch people play video games. I think it's kind of bizarre at times. But it can help if you're deciding to buy the game or whatever. So this week I did God of War for the PlayStation 2. And played it for a whole hour and recorded it. And I'm not very good at the game. I'll tell you that much. But I got through the first level for the most part and, hit the save spot and save the game. So if you're bored or can't sleep at night, might be a good video to tune into and let me know what you think. Because it was kind of fun to shoot. I might do a part 2 then, continue from my save spot and move forward. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. So we're sitting here with 24 seconds. We're almost into Snipe Land. There we go, 20 seconds Snipe Land. We're at $4.25 for Gradius, and we're at $33 for the Contra. 14-13, still at $4.25 and 33. 10 seconds ago. Oh, we went up a buck. Woo! And there's another dollar. These are technically snipes, I guess. Oh, it has a nice snipe in Gradius. Whoa, really nice in Gradius. Hey, I would say we might have to do... I'm sorry, I can't read the screen from here. That was a bit of a snipe party. So what did that? Went up $14 on Gradius overall. It went from 33 to about 43, so another 10. So let's say that's a 24. All right, we'll count it. Let's move on to the next two. All right, so we got the Yoshi's Island sitting at 650. Another nice low number. Good possible snipage. And the Final Fantasy 4 for the DS. Trying to get these things lined up is like the most bizarre thing. I'll just blame Chrome, huh? That's good enough. So yeah. No, that was a nice little snipe. I'm not going to complain about that. What was that noise? Oh. I'm getting bids. Oh, it's the bids. They backlog and they go on my watch. Also, it's the first Wednesday of the month. Social hour, drink. It's the sirens are going. Everybody drink with me, please. Well, you bastards are at work, right? I think, Nate, I think, is at home watching on his TV, he said. So, you could probably crack a cold one with me. I think that sounds like a real good idea. All right, so not too much has changed in here. We're at the 3 minutes. Yoshi Island still at $6.50, and Final Fantasy 4 is at the $20.50. So it's interesting. When I shot that video of God of War on the PlayStation 2, which will be for sale soon, I did it through the emulator instead of running it through the whole system. Part of the reason I did it is I'm playing it, and I kind of wanted to capture the best playability as possible. And I didn't have my new capture card yet anyway. And I didn't have the PlayStation 2 hooked up. So there's a lot of excuses I have. But I was running it at 5x. So it was said it was at 1080p with quality graphics, like some whatever. I have a good graphics card in this computer. And I'll tell you what. If you like playing PlayStation 2 games, that is a great way to play them. Dude, they ever look nice. Look so much better. So the funny part is, it'll render up the graphics of the true polygonal things, right? And that's like the gameplay. Cutscenes are kind of recorded polygon stuff. They used to look better than the actual gameplay, but now it's flip-flopped. When it goes to a cutscene, it actually looks worse than the gameplay. So it's kind of funny how that works. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of enjoy it. Oh, I'm here, having a Diet Dr. Pepper, Mr. Olmanson. That's cool, though. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy that Diet Dr. Pepper. It is weird to drink this early in the day, especially on a Wednesday. And I always have to make sure not to drink too much, because I got to run to the post office and ship a whole bunch of packages right after the show. I don't want to mismatch them. It does taste good, though. The premium light isn't bad. We went to New Ulm over the weekend with their neighbors and Mike. And it was a good time. We hit up some thrift store stuff, and I got this really weird toy. I should bring it to the show next week. It's very strange. And yeah, I don't know how to describe it. But it is very strange. I'll have to show it to you without describing it. And we hit some thrift stores. We went to a music store. It's called Vinyl something in New Ulm, Minnesota. And let me tell you, that place is a secret gem. That place was cool. Like beyond cool. Felt like you're walking into like a movie record store. All right, we'll finish that story here in a second because we're down to snipe time. $6.50 for Yoshi Island, $20.50 for Final Fantasy IV. We're at 15 seconds. Come on, let's get something here. Let's get something nice. I hope there's a lot of people out there just looking at those Game Boy Advance games that shoot it up. Uh-oh, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh! That is so sad. Now, isn't that a sad thing to have happen on us there? We got skunked. We got super skunked. So sad. All right, we'll move on. Grin and bear it. All right, what do we got here? We got, at least they sold. It's not like they didn't sell. Just didn't get any snipes, I guess, right? That's the way to look at it. That was a goose egg on that one. All right, we're at $4.25 for the Capcom Classics Mini Mix. For the Game Boy Advance. That's a lot of words. And then we are sitting at $28 even for Style Savvy. What kind of game is that? That is fun. Oh, my dad sent me a video in chat. In Messenger. Not Messenger. Technically text. There you go. So it's going to look really bad. Anyway, we'll have to look at that a little bit later, right? So, speaking of that, switched my cell phone provider the other day. And if you're in a situation where you own your phones, you really need to look into other options out there. I'm not saying the option I went with is the right option for you, especially since the promotional period ended 5 days ago. But I switched over to Visible from Verizon, which Verizon owns Visible. So it's all the same towers and everything. I have better service now. I'm on the wideband, ultra wideband now. And I get a lot more speed on my hotspot after the allocated, which even the allocated part is a lot bigger. And my bill on my plan went from $55 a month unlimited to $30 a month unlimited. Cancel anytime, whatever. But I have my own phone, right? You bring it over with you. Also, my wife doesn't need the hotspot as much as I think between the two of us, we wanted the heavier hotspot. And she didn't need the ultra wideband, which I really don't need anyway. But her plan, get this, is $20 a month, down from $55. Unlimited everything, and the hotspot is better than the old Verizon one we were on too, which is so bizarre. So hers, the slowest it'll get to is a 5 meg service. What do you say 5 meg is? Well, 5 meg will stream like DVD quality video through the hotspot, Teams through the hotspot, everything like that, fine. Okay? Now with my plan, the minimum it goes to is 10 meg, which will do, like let's say on a Plex server or a lot of things, it'll do 1080p just fine through hotspot. It'll do YouTube TV at full digital HD quality, all that stuff. So before, get this, we were throttled on Verizon to 600 kilobytes. That's not even 1 meg. It's basically a half a meg. And if you tried to stream anything on that, it looked like Pac-Man on any size TV. So, yeah, definitely worth looking into. I know there's been some really good deals. T-Mobile's always been cheap, and since they got, Sprint and stuff, matters where you are in the country, matters where you live, where you're going. There's always options out there. I think the moral to the story, though, is find a way to own your phone. Stop paying monthly fees for phones. It frees you up. Cheers. This tastes good, by the way. Listen to me preach, right? But no, I haven't been skiing this week. Still haven't ice fished either. I don't know. Am I done ice fishing? Is my ice fishing life over? So bizarre. But anyway, I had a ski friend, my ski buddy, last Friday. My friend Jen came out skiing with me, and we're leaving to go get there about 9:30, right when they open. It was a beautiful day, and she's like, "Well, aren't you going to bring anything to drink?" And I go, "Oh, we're gonna have a fun day skiing." So picked up some fireballs and some other little shot things, threw it in my pouch and my coat, and we took off. We had a good time. All right, back to that story in a second here. We're in Snipe Land, and we're at 4:25 still and 28. We have 12 seconds to go. Come on, folks. Get those snipes in. Got a lot of watchers on that weird style savvy game. 5 seconds to go. No movement. 4:25, 28. No movement. No end it. Oh my gosh, we have to watch that horrible video again. That poor boy. Here, let's do it. I hope I never get sick of that video. Dear Lord. That was a tough one, huh? Oh, this one's going to be really hard because this has like no bids on it yet. And we got 3 watchers. And what are we going on here? All right. So we're kind of in some lowdown. Now, the end of the auctions here today, we have some real big ones. So hold on, folks. It's going to get better, I promise. I promise. So we got to get through this muck here. So we got this ballistic game that's sitting at 99 cents with only 3 watchers and 0 bids, technically. So it's sitting technically at nothing. I haven't had an auction go unsold for quite some time. And then we have this set of 3 complete in box Game Boy Advance games. And Road Rash is one of them. So Road Rash has always been kind of a cool game. Box is a little beat up, though. But, you have a game that old. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Vintage vinyl, Stacy says, in New Ulm. Yeah, let's get back to that story before I finish the ski story. So we're in New Ulm at this vintage vinyl place. You walk in, and it has that incense smell. Okay? Now, it isn't overwhelming, though. At first, I was like, oh, here we go. It's like this old store in Mankato used to be called Ernie November's. I was like, oh, that place used to give me a headache. But I walk in, and it's actually kind of a pleasant smell. They have this old, 70s couch sitting in the middle of the room with, a big ashtray next to it. But I don't think you could probably smoke in there. It'd probably be illegal to smoke in there because of, I don't know. Seems like it would be anyway. Nobody was, and the ashtray looked very clean. So, anyway. All this vinyl laid out in a really nice format. Easy to look through. Everything is priced right on it. And on top of it all, I thought the vinyl was priced very well. Everything in good condition. Plastic sleeve, protectors on every album. And it was buy one, get one free. So my buddy Mike is just going to town on this vinyl. He bought a lot. I think he bought 24 records there maybe. And he got a screaming deal on it. So then, walking around in there, they have Arcade 1-Up Miss Pac-Man on a riser. Which, if you're going to have an Arcade 1-Up, that's probably one of the better ones to have. Love Miss Pac-Man. Even has a speed-up chip in there if you go select in the menu. Then next to it, it had, what was it? Was it a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I think that's the one it was. Pinball machine. Full-size, new pinball machine. Because there's a pinball vendor in that town. And he sells them retail. So he kind of pops them around. You see them in places. So you can buy it there from him technically. But you can also play it, which is really cool. So you just sit there and play pinball all day if you wanted to. Nice stern table. And then it also had the coin pusher game next to it, which has been showing up in every bar around town. So kids, parents, all love coin pushers. It's gambling. It's kind of fun. So they had all that going on in that store. Plus, they had a lot of toys. They had He-Man. I think they had some G.I. Joe. They had just a lot of random toy stuff. They had a little mini slot machine that was cool there, and just all kinds of random stuff. And it was done in such a nice way that it didn't have a clutter feel at all. It was just easy to walk around and see everything. And then you kept seeing, like, you could stop and stare at one section, and you'd stare at it for a while and go, oh my God, that is so cool. Like, you kept seeing just new things as you walked around. Really nice 45 section for records. You don't see that every day. So if you had like an old jukebox that just played 45s, that'd be a great place to go because they had some good ones. All right, we're down to snipe time. We're still at that 99 cents and 10.50. You know, I know you like that clip, Nate, but we might have to even play it again so you'll be even more happy. Because I have a feeling we're getting skunked here. Let's see here. 99, 10.50. 5 seconds to go. What happens here? 99, 10.50. Ain't getting rich on these two. Oh my gosh. This is just the worst. That poor boy has died 3 times, essentially. I don't think he really died in the movie, but you know. Still makes me hungry for McDonald's every time I see that clip. All right, we got the Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas sitting at $26.55. This has already jumped from $8.50 to $22.50. That means we gotten some movement on this since the show started. Moved up $16 or so. That's pretty good. Wow, yeah, we've had 3 goose eggs today. We've never had 3 goose eggs in one show. Maybe we have too many auctions. Who knows? So, The Nightmare Before Christmas has a cult following just in the title itself. I know my sister is a huge fan. So my brother likes Nightmare. Mark, you like The Nightmare Before Christmas quite a bit too. So, you know, there's pros and cons to that, right? And this how often are you going to get an Atari, a controller made for the Atari, still sealed in the package? And it has a clearance sticker on it for $5.99. In today's dollars, let's see here. Let's just do some. Let me think here for a second. If I go 91, 98, 05, 12, 19. So I think we have 6 doublers, we'll call it, right? So if you had $6, so 6, first double would be 12, 24, 48, 98, 196, and we'll just round up to 200. So we'll say this is worth 400 in today's dollars. You might think I'm crazy, but if you actually invested $6 back in where did I start it at? 84, and you let it ride till today, it'd be like $400 at 10%. There you go, a little math lesson. I think I did the math right. Don't forget about the dog. Yeah, the dog named Bud. Yeah, the dog. So at the vinyl place, when you first walk in, they have this giant Rottweiler with a chain, like big like chain links on his neck. And he runs up to you, and the owner goes, "Don't worry, he's super kind. Don't worry, don't worry." And the dog was just a cuddly bear and just ginormous. And I think they said he weighed like 170 pounds or something. Worth the trip alone to go hang out with that dog. Real cool dog. And so we hung out there for a while and looked at some things. And then we cut over from there to, I think it's called 209. It's the old Lamplighter restaurant. And we had lunch there, which was okay. I think the food was okay there. The service was struggling a little bit, but I think they just have a quick burst, so it's hard to really have a lot of staff for like an hour worth of busyness, I think. So, get it, but the food came out pretty prompt, and I would say it was cooked right. Wasn't too bad. Then we hit up, I think, another thrift store, and we went to Black Frost, I think it's called. Black Forest, Black Forest, Black Frost, Frost. I think it's Black Frost. And they I was driver, so I was being a good boy. I had just one little light beer at lunch, and then I just had one drink at the whiskey place, Black Frost, and it had an old fashioned with their new made liquor themselves. It was so good, really good sipper, and everybody else had like 3 drinks. I think my wife only had 2, but everybody else had like 3. Everybody started feeling pretty good. All right, we're down to Snipe Land. 26.55 and 22.50. Come on, controller. You can try harder than that. We're getting down there. 26.55, then 22.50. 7 seconds. Is something wrong with eBay? Is it down? Why aren't anything going up? 210. There we go. Everything went up just a little bit. All right. I don't even remember. What do we make like $8 more total? We'll get a little pretty anticlimactic, really. But we got something. It wasn't a fail. I'm just going to write an 8 down there. Interesting. Well, technically, though, what one was it that went up a whole bunch before we got there? I don't even remember now. Whatever. So, let's see. Oh, yeah, it was this one. $8.50 to $26.50. So let's just say it's another $18. 18. I'll just say 22. Just trying to see if I'm getting close to my goal for the day. That's what I'm writing down. Zelda was at $7.50. Is now at $8.50. Ooh, we gained $1 there already. And then the DS lot was sitting at $7.50. Is now up to $9.50. So technically we got $2 there too. So, hey, it could be worse, right? It could be a lot worse. I always like to scroll down and peek at this. Oh, see, somebody might be getting a deal here. All right, so anyway, we finished at the whiskey place. Everybody's getting a little bit of loudmouth in them, and they had E-tabs there, which friends are playing E-tabs, and everybody sucks at E-tabs, I swear, but you know it is what it is. And we leave there, and we end up going up to the brewery. So Shell's Brewery is the second oldest brewery in the country that is privately owned. And they make Grain Belt as well, too. They acquired them, I don't know, 10 years ago or so. And they made a new tap room up there. It is beautiful, the new tap room. It is so big, it's comfortable, it's spaced out. You can get some pizzas. I think it's like Heggy's pizzas, you know, frozen. But I think Heggy's might make some customized one for them because we had one with sauerkraut on it. And it was actually, I kind of liked it. I know my buddy Kyle said the smell made him feel sick. And yeah, but it didn't slow him down from drinking beers. Everybody's drinking beers and everybody's having a good time. And I had to be a good boy because I was driving all the way back to Mankato. So anyway, end up driving these guys back. And then our buddy Mike invites us all to his house. So we go there. But I think people were full and we all were home by 8 o'clock. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm just starting to drink really. And then I was like, I think we all need to go home. So we all went home. It was fine. It was good. We had a really good time. Mike and his wife are always a good host. So, yeah, it was a nice time. Cheers. Highly recommend going to New Ulm if you've never been there. You know what? I'm going to be naughty. Number 2. Why? Because I can, and it's a light beer. Vikings, if you want a better color, play better. It's going to be a long off season, right? Actually, they had a good season. I can't complain. I mean, it's not like we're going to go to a Super Bowl. We haven't been there since 1977. So, all right, we're getting close to that 1 minute mark. This is kind of a lame set of auctions right here. Oh, the next two sets. The next set has got, it's got that NES game that's still sealed. That could be either really good or a really big disappointed, and you'll see a sad face. Like, yeah, we'll see. We'll see, right? All right, down to 45 seconds. We're at 8:50 and 9:50. So next week, this is going to feel faster pace. It'll be only 3 minutes instead of 5 minutes between the auctions. I think it's a good move. You don't have to hear about all my stories so much then. Oh, we just jumped up to $12 from $9.50. So is that $2.50 pickup? That's half a beer. That ain't so bad. That ain't so bad. Oh, we're in Snipeland technically too. Now $12.50. That's another 50 cents. Holy moly, what a snipe we've seen there at 50 cents. 8.50, 12.50. We're at 6 seconds. 8.50, 12.50. 8.50, 12.50, and that's what she wrote, and that is all we got for our snipe.
Wow!
That was exciting. Now we got the F-Zero, which was at 8.50, still at 8.50, and then we have the unopened Nintendo game, still at 26. I don't know about this. Only has 9 watchers. This would be kind of sad if it just goes for 26. But you just never know. You don't. There's no way to know, right? So the way you can tell it's still original is it has this H seam here. See how the seam of the shrink wrap is? I guess that's the dead giveaway that it hasn't been re-shrink wrapped or something. Now granted, you could probably go find a H seamer thing, but the box is not in perfect condition by any means. I mean, it's got, a little bit of pressure put on it. It's been stored in some probably weird places over the years. But it's definitely new in box. Look at my hand. It should be a hand model, like George Costanza. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Oh, I gotta get back to the real picture, right? There we go. Oof, that was close. So, anyway, my ski buddy, though, Jen and I, we had a really nice time last Friday. So, I told her she wanted to have some drinks and stuff. And we're going up the chairlift after a couple runs. And she goes, can we have one of those fireballs now? And the chairlift, and I go, sure thing. And that's what I like about her. She likes Fireball. A lot of my friends don't like Fireball. I think it's the most delicious shot that's ever been created. It's easy to drink. And now it's back to being a whiskey again, because it was a malt liquor in the little bottles. Read about it if you didn't know. And yeah, it's just tasty. So anywhere we're going around, and she's not falling, and she's like, we first got there, we skipped the bunny hill, and we went down a hill in the back called, I can't think of it. It's the easiest hill there. I think it's easier than the bunny hill, personally. But she goes down, she does a great job. We take a chairlift back, we hit that one again. And then I think we hit a third time and went all the way to the back and hit up the back hill runs. And then we hit this hill where a poor boy passed away on technically not long ago there, a few weeks back. It's kind of sad. Yeah, Fireball is great, Nate. I agree with you. It is just delicious. But I think part of the problem is I think why some young people don't even like Fireball today, and this may sound even more dumb than anything, is people don't like hard liquor. They're used to just drinking light beers now. And they're like, oh, that tastes bad. It tastes so, makes me go, oh. Well, that's the whole point. Now, Fireball is pretty tame. I mean, the burn is more of a piece of candy, if that makes sense, going down your throat. But, yeah, some people just think it just tastes terrible. And it has that flavor that I can't say, cinnamon. Did I say that right? Cinnamon? I don't know. But it is what it is. But anyway, we're cruising along going up and down these hills. And then, how did that first fall happen? She fell down at the bottom of a hill, basically just standing there. And I'll tell you, that is the easiest way to fall on skis, is when you're just really not paying attention or having forward momentum movement, right? Well, then we're going to go into the party lift, I call it. And I was ahead of her a ways. I just pulled in. I'm waiting for, there's no line. We're like the only people skiing, which is great. That's why I love skiing in the mornings and the weekdays. And she comes piling in there at full speed, and it's icy in there, and just like runs into the sidewall and falls down. She didn't get hurt, but it was a scene. Oh, the other time she fell wasn't at the bottom of the hill. It was getting out the chairlift. A young girl had fallen in front of her, and she had to go around her, and I think it psyched her out and made Jan fall too. So it's too bad, but it was fun. We had a good time. All right, we're down the Snipe Land. $26 still in that NES game. Somebody bet on that. That thing's a little mint treasure thing right there. F-Zero still at $8.50, but the NES 10 seconds, 26 and 12. F-Zero got a snipe. At least F-Zero went up. There we go, 56. Now we're talking. Keep pumping, keep pumping, keep pumping. And 56 and 14.50. I would say that is a bit of a snipe party. I know you don't want me to cut that off because he's really rocking it, but you know what? That wasn't so bad. So it was a $30 and 6. So we'll go 36. That was a snipe party. All right. These are two big ones coming up here. We got the Pinball of the Dead. That was at 63. Still at 63. And we have Dragon Warrior 158 and is at 160.50, so it's already gone up $2. All right, I want my $2. Current bidder has a 4 rating, but 100%. At least it's something. The large dollar ones always make me uncomfortable when I get 0 review whatever bidders. So, and this Pinball of the Dead, kind of pisses me off because there's a guy that bid on it like a day and a half ago, and this was up to like 70 something, and he retracted the bid this morning and said put in wrong amount. So now he was the top bidder. Now this guy bid 5 days ago, and he's the top bidder and may not even know it. So I really think eBay should make it harder to retract bids, because weekly I get bid retractions. It isn't just rare or occasional, and it's about enough to drive you batty. But anyway, it is what it is. Because I think it kind of hurts the community. I think it hurts the whole thing. But we'll see. These are the final auctions, guys. We only have 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go together. And then this video is done. Then I get to sit around and print labels and combine shipping. Because I'm sure we got some people that bought lots together. Because we didn't see as much sniping in some of those low dollar ones. I bet we got some people in there that won multiple. So if you ever do win multiple, don't pay right away. It's annoying. Because then I have to go back and refund if I'm going to do anything. And it's just tedious. Sorry. Let me send you an invoice with the new updated shipping for all the items. All right, we're getting down to 2 minutes. 160.50. Come on, Dragon Warrior. I believe in you. It's a rare game. Very rare. And the Pinball of the Dead was a sleeper for me. I didn't think it'd go this high. I really didn't. So I'm happy with the 63 even. I'd love to get more for it if I could, though. I played it. It's fun. But I was playing it on a little screen. And I'll tell you, these little screens, when you get older, I know my eyes are getting worse. Not wearing cheaters yet, because I can read fine. But I'm finding that I like a little bit of a bigger screen to see the game better. But who knows? I'm getting kind of the burps from drinking this beer at 1:30 in the afternoon. All right, 1 minute, 8 seconds. So I'm excited to go to cake, though. we're going to Cake to see in Mankato. That's exciting. My wife was able to get tickets for Tito and his wife, and then his sister and her husband. So I'm sure we'll have other friends that end up going too. But the max she could buy was 6 tickets, so we did that through the early buy. They don't technically go on sale in Mankato until Friday, but it's easy to sign up for early buys. So you just do it, then you get really good seats. So. All right, we're getting down there. We're getting down to the last 30 seconds here. 63 and 160.50. Uh-oh. Here comes Snipeland. 20 seconds. All right, 63, 160.50. I would like to see Dragon War go up. But the maps are in terrible shape. The box has some wear on it, too. You don't know what things are really worth. They're only worth what someone's willing to pay for them. 5 seconds. Come on. Oh, there we go. 202.50 for Dragon War. 223.50. 233.49. And I would say that is a pretty nice night. Isn't that exciting? That was a nice jump. A much needed jump. I wish Pinball would have gone up, but I hope that guy knows the pay because he was outbid a while ago, but he is the winner now. So, go Figs. Well, I thank you guys for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Next week's show will have more of a rhythm to it because the auctions are going to keep flying off. So, we'll see how that goes. Please join us. And